Hello, Latin 2. We're going to do a key for you right now of Story 5, The Laws of the 12 Tables. Here we go. Once upon a time, these words were being recited by Publius. This is a passive verb, so nobody's doing anything in this sentence. Something is happening to the words. They were being recited. Secunda, his little sister, was listening. And here's what the words say. Adversus hostem aeterna auctoritas. Subscript number 1. Against a foreigner, the right and property shall be everlasting. Meaning, if I'm a Roman citizen and you're not, and we go to court about some land, you lose. Line 3. Secunda was about to ask Publius about these words, but he had already departed into the forum. Therefore, and we're going to cheat on this line now and make Secunda the subject, even though we recognize she's part of a prep phrase, and we really shouldn't be doing that.
All staff just want to let you know we'll try to lock up the building at about 1 o'clock. Give you time to kind of get some of your things.
I have to wait for Mr. Timberlake's announcement.
Thank you all so much for cooperating with us today, and have a cozy afternoon.
Therefore, Secunda looked for her father Rufus, and when she found him, that's what these two words, Rufo and Wento, say, Secunda asked, Daddy, what is adversus hostem aeterna auctoritas? If you want the translation for this, just go downstairs to the bottom of the book. I heard Publius speaking these words. Remember, I'm going to add ing to decantate because the nt, which normally means they, has been moved to the middle of the word by the addition of the ending em. And the nt in the middle means ing. I heard Publius speaking. Daddy explained, these are words from the laws of the 12 tables. I'm getting of from the arum. Oh, you know, I left the word lekta out. Let me go back and do this again. These words are taken. Lekta is taken or selected. These words are selected or taken from the laws of the 12 tables, which are committed or which have been committed, which have always been committed to memory by all Roman boys. And what you need to know is that the text of the 12 tables, here's an example right here, was a text in Roman schools. It was a textbook in Roman schools. So all Roman boys of the patrician class, at least, memorized the 12 tables. I'm skipping line 9. Didn't like it last week, still don't like it. Now, here's what Secunda asks. Quo tempore scriptae sunt? When were they written? This is a two-word verb. Was or were plus ed. Were written. When were they written? In the first years of the state, when the 10 men, or you could just say decem viri, held the power. That's when these laws were written, when the 10 men held the power. For a long time, the laws of the Romans retained or held in the memory of men were not written down. They were not written down. But written laws, petitai sunt, were sought or were demanded by the Roman people. Why? Quote, because many serious injustices were received by men, scientibus, known scientibus, who did not know the words of the laws. Concilio clarissimorum hominum is where we are headed now. The advice of the most famous men. I'm getting most out of the ISSIM. This is called a superlative right here when you see ISSIM. The advice of the most famous men of the state was sought. And I'm going to add the word then to make it sound good. This plan was found, two-word verb, was found best. Okay? What's the plan for writing down the laws? 3 famous men were sent into Greece where they learned about the laws of the Greeks. Others, meaning other Roman men, others were sent to Hermodorus, a Greek living in Italy. So apparently only the Greeks know how to make laws. Even now, a statue of Hermodorus, placed by the Romans, stands in the Comitio. The Comitio is a place where public speaking went on. It's a part of the middle. It's in the middle of the city of Rome. Even now, a statue of Hermodorus, set up, posita, or placed by the Romans, stands in the Comitio. Then the highest power of the state was given to 10 men who were ordered, two-word verb, who were ordered to write down the laws, to write down the Roman laws. I almost said the laws of the Romans. To write down the Roman laws. When these men, under the leadership, principe, under the leadership of Appius Claudius, worked for a long time, the great work was completed. You can see that we have two-word verbs, compound verbs, was or were plus ed, all over the place in this story. So you got to know how to deal with two-word verbs, was or were plus ed. The laws written on 12 tables were set up or were placed or were positioned in the forum. There they have been seen, or there they were seen by everybody throughout many years. And they are seen there now. So the laws were set up way back in the past, about 450 BC, and they're still, according to Father Rufus, still standing in the form where Secunda and her brother Publius can read them. Here's what Secunda says: I have often seen them. I have often seen them. But what are those laws? The dad says there are many, about punishments, about injuries, about families, about the patria potestas, about a father's power, about debt, about roads, about burials, or about tombs, either way, about the Roman right, spelled R-I-G-H-T, about the right of a Roman, in other words, Roman civic rights. Many other laws afterwards were proposed. Many other laws were proposed. I'm getting proposed from right there. Were proposed afterwards. But the power of Rome, or Roman power, confirmata est, was strengthened by the laws of the 12 tables. Really, it almost has a sense here, now that I read this, of as, but Roman power was established, est confirmata, was established by the laws of the 12 tables. I think that's better than strengthened, was established. When those laws will be lost. Actually, it's will have been lost. When those laws are lost, or will have been lost, then the power of Rome will have been lost too, or also. As long as these laws remain, Rome will be eternal. So there's your key for story 5. You did all the translating for this already, so you should be pretty familiar with many of the words. Not all of them, but many of them. And you need to start making sure that you know this story well enough to perform on a test. While they